Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to SignaTeak channel. Today is all about fresh cinema experiences, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on the newest film making its mark. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the recap of this exciting cinematic adventure. In a galaxy far, far away, Mother World is a military empire sustained by centuries of conquest and war. The current king welcomes his daughter, Princess Issa, who has a rare talent for healing and resurrection. This is seen as a sign of redemption to her homeworld, as the royal family is tired of fighting, and Issa wants her empire to be united through compassion rather than violence. Instead, Issa and her parents were publicly murdered during the coronation ceremony, and Valerius, a prominent senator, proclaimed himself regent and resumed his conquest of the empire. With the help of Admiral Atticus Noble, a sadistic military leader from the independent planet Felt. Noble and his men arrive and insist that the village chief, Father Sindri, sell them some grain to replenish their food supply while they search for the rebels known as Clan Bloodaxe. An ambitious farmer named Gunnar disagrees with Sindri's refusal to do business with Noble. The admiral then bludgeoned Sindri to death and ordered Gunnar to prepare all the village's grain before he returns. However, he left behind a few soldiers living in the village and monitoring the situation before he returns. One of the soldiers, Private Ares, unlocks the robot soldier JC from the mechanical army. There's also a soldier who likes trouble, and he is seen telling his then-boss that JC and others like him are programmed not to attack or pick fights anymore. After the king's death, he proves this by intentionally hurting JC and becomes bossy again when Ali gets in his way. Later, when JC goes to wash the dishes, a young girl, Sam, comes up to him in a show of kindness. He tells her the story of her late king and his daughter, Princess Issa, who was caring, kind, and special. Then she encouraged him and left. Meanwhile, the villagers, whose father or leader has just been killed by a nobleman, remain confused. If they agree to show the admiral and his army how useful they are as farmers, then the admiral will have no reason to destroy them. But one of the villagers, Kora, gets fed up and goes inside. She starts packing her things to leave. The man who brought her to her village then tries to leave her in her village to help in their fight, but she departs anyway. That night, Imperial soldiers capture Sam and attempt to rape her. As always, Private Ali, who had noticed them earlier, tries to stop them, but is overwhelmed, and even his superiors become interested in what they are up to. Kora sees her soldiers trying to rape Sam and hears her cries for help. She confronts them and kills them after a long battle. Not wanting to let them go, the boss becomes happy when he sees JC and orders him to kill Kora and Ali. However, JC, who has not spent long in combat. The villagers then come, and after seeing what happened, Kora reveals to them that they have to fight. Kora gets help from the general, and, if possible, soldiers who help her stop Admiral Noble. The next time he visits to destroy the village, she leaves with Guno, and while staying overnight, she learns that she is a former member of the Empire, the supreme military of her home world. Let him know something. We learn that her family was killed by General Belisarius. General Belisarius eventually rescued her and trained her to become her most dangerous and decorated soldier under his command. She also tells him how she fought and won many battles for the flag of those who destroyed her family. They then head to the nearby port town of Providence to gather a group of warriors and defend themselves from Noble's fleet. They are looking for a man who knows how to get to General Titus and Bloodaxe of the Revolutionary Army, who they hope will fight for them as well. When they get there, they find that the man they were looking for has been captured by the Falcons and is working for Admiral Noble. We see a troublemaker in a bar targeting a gunman, but Kora tells him to stand down. When he refuses, she gives him a taste of what he's working on. Then you'll see that everyone in the bar is actually passionate about their job. He then returns with two men to cause trouble, and a gunfight begins. Kora then kills her, but she is nearly killed by a man until Kai kills him. After scouting Kai, whom they met as a smuggler and criminal, he takes them to two other warriors, an animal trainer named Taka. Now, Taka is enslaved because he has debts to pay off, but his owners tell them he likes gambling. He bets on the hawk. To do so, you will need to be able to tame recently caught creatures. Otherwise, he will chain all living things. When Kora asks if she can ride the creature, he tells her yes with her confidence. We see him interact with the creature, ask it to let it go, then gradually talk to it in his native language and eventually come to ride it. It wasn't easy as the creatures wanted to leave him on the cliff, but once they landed, he returned to the cliff. The owner forgives the debt, but the hawk watches as he is killed as he attempts to ride the creature. Kai takes her along with his next recruit, the talented cyborg swordsman Nemesis. Meanwhile, Nemesis is in trouble as the monster has just captured a female child. After a long battle, she wins and joins them. Kora ventures to a remote moon to scout General Titus, a disgraced Imperial commander whose sole purpose is fighting gladiators. Having lost faith in himself and hope for a better future, he begs Kora to let him die in peace. But she at least motivates him to take revenge on those who died under his command. Gunna hears from Kora that she was raised by Ballesterius after her world fell to the Empire, and that she feels guilty for Issa's death because he once served as her princess's bodyguard. Meanwhile, a man captured by a nobleman is brought in to uncover the whereabouts of the revolutionary Bloodaxe clan. He pleads for his life to be spared, and after telling him what he knows, Nobles assures him that the last time he saw the Bloodaxe family was in Sheena, where they were under the protection of a certain King Levitica. Once he is finished, Noble kills him before going to see King Levitica. Kora and her new fighters obtain their first fighter and, after greeting King Levitica, await the arrival of the Bloodaxe fleet. When they arrive, Kora knows she cannot protect herself from the Noble. The warriors take advantage of Gunner's past dealings with his clan Bloodaxe to meet with their mentors, brothers Dalian and Divra, and request the use of the Starfighter. Dalian and half of his clan agree to help, but Devra decides such a fight is hopeless and a waste of resources, and retreats with the other half to safety. What else is she fighting against? On her way home, Kai and Kora argue and wonder why Dalian, the leader of her clan, agrees to help her. He later tells her that he intends to leave her life as a thief and join her in her fight. However, he informs her of her deportation. He has to land first to deliver some things, then he follows her, and she agrees. Meanwhile, on Kyanad, King Levitica is seen pleading with Noble, who attacked their planet and destroyed everything. After a conversation about why the king chose to accept the slain king's enemies, he executes King Levitica and then destroys what is left of his kingdom. On the way, Admiral Noble learns that the informant knows the whereabouts of the people and departs. Kai arrives at an unregistered trading post and asks for help transporting a box he wants to deliver. After some time, Kora realizes that Kai's movements are all wrong, but things are delayed when their ship comes under fire and is captured by robots. While waiting for Noble to leave her ship, Kora asked Noble when he would leave, and Kai told her how Noble had planned her betrayal. That's because each one has a price attached to it. Noble arrives and, after addressing everyone, finds out that if he hands them over to General Ballesterius, he can gain his place in the Senate. After much talking, it turns out that Noble already knows Kora's true identity as a subordinate of General Ballesterius. When Kai asks her farmer Ganna to end things for her by paralyzing her girlfriend, he frees her girlfriend and injects it into Kai instead. Kora quickly takes up arms and a small war begins. Gunna also releases the rest and the battle continues. Noble orders his ship's pilot to blow up the ship there before Darling's men explode, which it does. The surrounding area continues to scream in chaos as the defeated Bloodaxe leader attacks the pilot himself. However, although he was successful, he missed his target and was shot twice by the pilot instead. We later learn that he ultimately kills the pilot and manages to crash his ship before his death. Losing their leader, the battle rages on, and when the ship reaches them, Noble falls to the ground. Just when he thought he was safe for a moment, Kora grabbed him and they started fighting. After a fierce fight ensues between the two for some time, she overpowers him and executes him as brutally as he does to the others. After one of them dies and the rest survive, they celebrate having to show General Ballesterius they've had enough of him by killing General Ballesterius's ruthless commander, Noble. Kora and Guno take them to their village, and Taka wonders what it would have been like to die in a beautiful village if he hadn't killed Noble at the trading post. Meanwhile, Noble is transferred to another ship, and the surgeon sends him to speak to General Ballesterius using his new roll link instead of first stabilizing him. He told the now old general that he had found her daughter Kora gathering her with the rest of her army, and that she would kill them and bring her head. However, the general says that if he hurts her daughter, the only thing that would be in danger is his own head, and asks that he bring her daughter alive, although the rest may die. After giving Noble his final orders, he is sent back to the ship. As the surgeons wonder if he will ever be stable, they begin to give him everything they have, and we see him scream and come back to reality. And the movie ends here. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed this film recap and want more, subscribe now, like, and share captivating stories with your friends. Tell me which movie you'd like me to summarize next. See you soon.